Hey there, welcome to Contracts and Chaos. My name's Alyssa.
And I'm Brenna, and we're here to tell you that you are not alone in the mayhem of this real estate industry.
We're keeping it real and sharing our stories, strategies, and successes in today's real estate world.
So come join us every Tuesday while we talk Contracts and Chaos.
Us recording this episode means that we are starting season 3.
I know, it
Contracts and
means
Chaos.
we've completed 2 full years.
Wow,
That's wild. That's wild.
It is wild. I have to tell you, this year, last year, I hope I never topped my top story for spooky stories from last year, because that was just like, that still lingers in the back of my mind, I guess. But this year, we actually had some local agents send in some spooky stories for us to share on the podcast, which is cool. And we have, of course, a couple of bigger stories that you might have seen in the past because they made the headlines.
Yes, and thankfully, knock on wood, I don't have a scary story this year that I can think of, unless it's something we've already discussed. Brenna has one. We're going to see if we can remember it.
Mm-hmm.
But
well,
yeah.
and honestly, so I haven't had anything scary. The only things that I'll have this year are those scary moments in the transaction that you're like, oh my God, this is a dumpster fire.
Right, yes.
Yeah,
those are I've had a shit ton of those this year, but I haven't had a, oh God. Okay,
well,
so the first, go ahead.
No, you're fine. I think we have a teeny, weeny, beany delay. So you kick us off.
Of course we do. So the first one came from one of our friends, Heather, and she says, one of our first houses sold has the original owners buried on the property. One of the things the buyers had to agree to was access for family members. The house is a negative 10 out of 10 at night.
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
No.
Can you?
I've sold a house where there's a cemetery across the street, and that was a hindrance in getting it sold because people were like, I don't want to live near a cemetery. Can you imagine trying to sell a house with a cemetery on the property?
Well, see, so we're 2 houses down from a church, right? Which is churches are everywhere here in North Carolina, and it's fine. They have a cemetery behind the church, and I've always been if I was going to be by a cemetery, it would be the one by the church, because you're just going to have those sweet little old ladies cruising through the cemetery. And I do have to tell you though, I do think that they wander back there because it abuts the horse pasture. And I can't tell you the number of times that all of a sudden all 3 horses will be at attention staring into the cemetery. And I'm like, ooh, who's out there? What you see?
Right, or what?
But allowing permanent access for family members to come say hello.
I would have to have strict guidelines around that. They can come these days, these hours.
Right.
They're only
just
allowed to access at this point. Right. You can't just show up when you feel
Is it an easement? I have a question. Is it an easement? Does it run with the land? So if these people that bought the property then sell the house, then the people that buy it from them automatically that gets grandfathered in? You know what I mean? Or was it just a gentleman's agreement between these 2 people?
I have no idea. I would if it were my buyers, there would be something written and recorded, because I would not. There's no way, because if you don't, that's opening a can of worms for whatever to happen. No, because in the bundle of rights that you get when you buy a property, quiet enjoyment is one of them, which means previous owners should be leaving you the F alone.
Right. Yeah. So, no, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. I don't know. This next one is kind of, it's worse than that. At least these people are in a box buried in the ground, and people are just coming to say, hello, happy Thanksgiving, happy birthday, those kinds of things. There were 2 home buyers touring a house in Ohio that ended up calling the police because human remains, and this is a quote, you guys, human remains in an enhanced state of decomposition were located inside the home.
Yeah,
inside
can you imagine? And this was a self-guided tour, so this must have been an open door or something like that, where you can get the lockbox code.
Yep, and
that's one of my biggest fear.
I hate open
hate
door.
those.
Yes, when they're just like, "Come on in, do your thing," because literally, you have no idea who was there, who is there,
Right.
who might be like coming. Because literally, it's a phone call. It's longer depending on the call center, but in 30 seconds, you can have a code to get into that house. And there was a sergeant.
Anyone with a cell phone can. Anyone with a
Exactly.
smartphone.
Exactly. A sergeant stated in this story that it was hard to determine if the deceased were an actual resident of the home or if they were squatting and trying to keep warm.
Right. Well, there was a case in Gastonia 2 or 3 years ago, a couple blocks from me. Mm-hmm. House was for sale. Home inspector went to do home inspection, opens the crawl space, and there's a dead person in the crawl space because it was a homeless person. It was a vacant property. They still had the utilities on, and a homeless person crawled in trying to stay warm overnight and suffocated from the carbon monoxide. So yeah, I will never understand wanting to allow self-guided tours from a QR code on the sign out front. Literally,
great.
they don't ask for ID. You put in a name. It doesn't. How do you know it's your real name? Like, but can you imagine being those buyers?
No. I mean, obviously you don't buy the house at that point. That was like the story last year where my clients were like, yeah, no, I'm going to go ahead and say that this is not the one, and we just like, off we went. Oh my God, Alyssa, I remembered my two things.
Okay. Say it now. Say it now so we don't forget again.
Okay. So I was touring with this lovely family, and this was a while ago. Was this even this year? You'll have to tell me if I said this story already.
Okay.
One of them was definitely this year. One of them was definitely maybe this year. We were touring this house, and it's a massive house. It was like 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, yada, 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 yada. I almost peed myself, okay? Because I try to go ahead of everybody and like turn the lights on, make sure that blinds are open as they're perusing, right? So while they were on the main level, I was upstairs turning the lights on. Well, I go into this massive bedroom, right? And I go to like swing the closet door open. And when I tell you I squawked, because I think I sent you a picture of this, there was a giant, and I mean like the size of a sliding glass door painting of like an old man in a bathtub.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know that I sent you this. I know that I did. But I was like looking eye level with this old man in a bathtub in the closet. Right. And I was like, oh my God. And on the painting was a sticky note that said, remains with the home. Right. And my clients and we all like had a huge chuckle because obviously I squawked. Everybody came to see what was wrong. Right. And then we all had a good old chuckle about this giant painting of an old man in a bathtub. I just can't wrap my head around it. And then we decided, since it was staying with the home, like it was definitely possessed. Like it was haunted. Like it had to be.
Why are they leaving that?
Why are they ever? There is nothing else in this home. Not a chair, not a like weird thing not a soap dispenser, nothing, right? Just this giant painting stuffed in a closet. So it wasn't scary, but it was I almost peed my pants.
Oh boy. Yeah, that would not be fun. Did you remember the other one, or was that it?
Keep going, because I don't see. This is the problem, because I finished that story, and now my little might be ADHD brain has forgotten the other part of the story.
Okay,
so
I'll go to the next one.
Okay,
so
deal.
The next one is also from a local agent. Hold on. It's also from a local agent, someone we both know. And I feel like you both showed this house. She and someone else told me this story. And they walked into the house, and the house is empty.
Keep going. I just like people, you guys, like I cannot. Okay,
right?
Go.
The house is completely empty, except for 2 urns that had ashes in them.
Yep.
And when asked about the urns, the sellers told them they weren't going to remove them. It was the buyer's responsibility. It was like an estate. No one in that family wanted their dead family members' ashes. They just wanted to sell the house.
Don't you like, pop on a group chat with your family and be like, hey, Mima and Peepaw need a place to go, right? Like, and nobody's like, hey, I'll keep them for dinner on Friday. I understand that. But could we like collectively as a family be like, they really enjoyed this?
Right.
And go spread those ashes.
Like,
or
I don't know if this is a more scary story or if it's a sad story, because it's like no one in this family wanted their family member.
Sad story. And
like,
I have
if
to
that's
tell
the
you,
case, why even pick them up from the you can ask the funeral home to just dispose of them.
Which is awful. If you're going to have them cremated, like you're just going to like dump them in a giant like 50-pound sack of remains of other people.
Right.
What? No, that's sad. But there is something weird about people and having ashes in their houses, though. I will say that. Like, there are people that I know that, like, absolutely not in a million years would they have somebody in their house. To me, like, it doesn't bother me at all. Not at all.
Right. I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it. Like, I don't know.
I mean,
like, because my mom's going through it right now, and she's like, what am I going to do? Sit him at the end of the table and be like, hey, Kev, what's up? Like, what are we going to do with that?
But yes, I mean, maybe it's just my family. Travis will tell you that my family's odd. But after my grandfather passed away, he was cremated, and my Nana had him in a box, and she dead ass took him to the grocery store with her. So... No, I'm not even kidding. But then like you're not getting out of this grocery shopping trip, Richard. But 10 years later, you know, almost 11, when she passed away, like they had his ashes and then her ashes, and then they spread them together, right? That was the whole idea.
That makes sense.
She had Grandpa with her all of the time. He snowbirded in Florida with her and the whole nine. But no, that doesn't bother me at all.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. I have my dog and my cat, but I don't know. Like, but also because I was like, what do you do with them?
Right.
Like, and I was in such a state of like craziness that I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Just what I don't know what people normally do. I don't know. Now they sit by the front door. Like, I don't. But would I leave them for the next owner?
No, absolutely not. No. I couldn't.
That's like, you had a listing once. The listing, I did the open house for you. The house that took 3 times to sell, like 2 years ago.
Oh my God. Yeah.
There was like a whole dog cemetery in the back of that property. Like a big concrete slab with the dog's name painted on it and everything. I mean, it was
like a memorial back there.
Yeah. I was like, well, I'm definitely not doing that. But
maybe they thought that they would get tax benefits if it was like a big memorial, you know?
Well, that's why the president's ex-wife is buried on his golf course.
All right, this one is another, I don't want to say call-in. She sent me a voice recording. I would love to play it for you. I happen to love her super sweet, deep Southern voice, but she insisted that I tell this story in my own words. So this is from Summer. She's in the Triangle area if anyone needs a referral in North Carolina. But she was telling a story, and she's been in real estate a lot longer than me. So she said this is before kids. So this is probably 18 or 19 years ago. But she toured a property with this gentleman, and they'd seen houses before. It was just the two of them anyways. They go in. They love the house, looking through it, yada, yada, yada. They get up to this room, and she said it seemed like it was set up like a schoolroom, right? That it was once a schoolroom with those little desks with the wraparound arm, that kind of thing, right? Nothing weird. It's a cute little schoolroom. They continue on, and suddenly she hears children laughing. And she looks at her client, and he looks at her, and she's like, do you hear that? And he's like, yeah, kids. And so she's like, well, maybe somebody's here to also tour the property. So she goes back downstairs. There's nobody there. She walks around the back of the house, and there's a car there. And she's like, oh, okay, so somebody is here. And then she goes, and there's a contractor who's going to go underneath the house. He's working on the house. And she's like, excuse me, hi. And he's like, hi, how are you? And she's like, I'm sorry, did you hear? And he goes, kids laughing. He's like, I've been here working all week. He's like, I hear them every day. There's nobody here.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God. When I played her recording, I got goosebumps. Just telling it, I got goosebumps. I'm like, oh, My God. But she said
Right?
the contractor looked her dead in the eye and was like, children laughing? Yes. Yes, I hear them. There's nobody here.
Oh my God.
So her client decided might not be the one for them.
Right?
But just children laughing in this beautiful
That's
old house. Like, what? I can't.
no, no. So
I
no.
can't.
I just remembered one from this year. Similar, but not really. Touring a house with a client. People obviously lived there. They weren't supposed to be home during the showing. Looks like a decent house. You can tell they're like using rooms that aren't supposed, like the primary bedroom was actually supposed to be a dining room, so they had too many people. Whatever. It was a limited listing. And we go upstairs and we are looking at the bedrooms and we go to open this other door and she's like, "Oh, it's locked." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah." All of the sudden, and we realize it's a thumbprint lock. There's also a padlock on the outside above it.
Oh my God, I have a similar story to this. Okay, keep
Someone
going.
behind the door yells, "Yes, there's someone in here. You can't come in." And I was like, "Oh God, sorry. Didn't know anyone was here." There was someone locked in that room
From the outside?
from the outside.
Wow.
I had to call the police.
Wow.
I was just like, "Get
Yeah,
out of the
that's
house
crazy.
now. Get out. We're calling the cops. Like, something is wrong here."
Yeah, it's crazy. I've shown a house, completely vacant house. And but you go upstairs, right? You know, there's like the upstairs that has like a catwalk, and there's like, you know, usually a couple of bedrooms up there, but it's not like a full up, like upstairs. You like walk up the stairs and you like walk around the little like ramp thing to get to the bedrooms. You hear what I'm saying? And up there, there's one door that goes to like the bonus room, like over the garage, the finished room over the garage kind of thing. And when I tell you, there was like padlock after like deadbolt on the outside of the door. I was like, well, that's good. That's fun. And my client was like, there's either going to be something like spicy in there or something like scary in there. And it's vacant. Like we open the door and I'm like, you know, like, ooh, creak the door open. There's nothing in there. It's vacant, but there are holes in the walls. There's like drawings all over the walls, like with like crayon. I'm like, oh, they kept somebody's crazy cousin up here.
I saw
For
that.
sure.
I saw that one of my first years. There was a house. It was vacant. The kids' closets. And then the basement had like a walkout basement. Had like a bunch of. They were trying to say that they used it as like a family camp. Mm-hmm. Y'all know it was at the end of a cul-de-sac in like a regular subdivision. This wasn't a camp. Mm-hmm. But the basement had like a toilet in the middle of the room, and then there was like bunk beds built from like 2x4s. It was, my clients and I were both like, "No, get the hell out. Get out." Now, I saw a thumbprint lock yesterday, but it wasn't scary because when I looked around the house, I realized he's in the military, so I'm assuming it's a gun safe.
Mm-hmm. Well, heck,
sense.
I've threatened to put a thumbprint lock on my pantry.
Right? Right?
I have threatened to do that. We haven't, but like, I feel like that would be a good idea.
Right? It would keep your grocery budget down.
Maybe. I mean, I have no idea. I remembered another one too. Have you ever had so I knew that my client's stepdad had passed away. And but I didn't know that he like shot himself in the driveway.
Oh. Yeah, that's different.
That's something like even after the sale of the house, right? I'm like, oh my.
Wait, what? So it closed and then he went back and did it?
No. I found out after the sale of the house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just like, and that's not like if somebody dies in the house, that's not something that we put in the MLS, like,
right.
You know, remarks.
Someone asked me the other day if we had to disclose that.
Yeah, Aunt Betty like passed in the living room chair. Like that's not how this works. But also, I'm like, oh my God.
Ugh. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one more. Are you
One
ready
more.
for the
Okay.
last one?
Yes. Wrap us up
And
with a
then
good one.
if you remember yours, then we can circle back.
Okay.
So this one is from Des Moines, Iowa. And this real estate broker bought a house in 2021, used it as a rental. You know, like it was a flip. It had carpet, paint, everything. But when her tenants moved out last year or this year, she decided she wanted to see if it had hardwood flooring under it. And when she did, she found the outline or the imprint of a body.
Oh, that's
Can
why
you
we
imagine?
carpeted it out. Just cut, like, yeah, that some of those
Right?
hardwoods just absorb too much. You know what I mean? So you just like nice,
Yeah.
fluffy carpet.
Yep. So apparently, she reached out to the agent that sold it to her. Apparently, in 2015, a gentleman died in there. In the end of July, there was no air conditioning, and he was there for several weeks. So literally, he decomposed into the wood flooring.
This is another one. Is this scary or is this sad? Because you don't have
Right.
anybody to look for you within 3 weeks,
Right. I think
especially a
it's
sweet little
scary if
old
you're the person
man.
to find it.
Oh, a
It's
thousand
sad
percent.
for the person that wasn't found.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so she said that you could tell they had replaced some floorboarding around it so it wasn't a full body imprint because apparently some of the wood wasn't salvageable.
Ew! Oh my God!
Yep,
Why wouldn't
it
you
was
just
that bad.
replace it?
Right.
That's
So she ended up,
terrible.
instead of trying to restore hardwood floors, she put new flooring over it.
I Yeah, I would say that I think that that's probably a good call on her part.
Yeah, right? Like, no,
You
thank
know,
you.
they're especially in this area, and you know it too. Like we tour some houses that are old, right?
Mm-hmm.
That have some stories to tell. Like you see those little
Oh,
mill
yeah.
houses or those like huge like houses that like have way too many bedrooms. They're, built in 1901 and you're just like these walls have seen some things,
Oh, for sure.
you know.
For sure. Like
And
the
there's
house next to
definitely
me.
the house next to you is like that too.
Uh-huh. It's been a rental for forever. The lady who used to own it inherited it from her father, and she was charging like $400 a month in rent. She never fixed anything. It went up for sale, so I brought some investors through. There's really crack pipes all through it. Like it mold, like the walls were soggy and
Mm-hmm.
ugh. I had a cough for like a week after touring it. And now some slumlord investor has it and he's not going to fix it and wants to try to put people in it. And I'm just
Well,
like,
we bought and we lovingly now call it the crackhead house in our neighborhood because it was a situation that it was terrible. We ended up buying it because we're gonna flip it, or I'm trying to talk Travis into fixing it and just keeping it for a rental and for the kids. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. But when we got into the house, I think I told you, like, when we first got it, they hadn't been paying for the utilities, right? So there was no water, no electricity, no nothing. So they'd been like using the bathroom, but there's nothing, it
ugh,
was really a
ugh,
terrible, terrible place. But in the basement, and they cooked meth in the backyard. They had a meth shack. Okay. But
nice.
in the downstairs, like their hangout spot, they would like write letters to each other on the walls and there'd be drawings and like all of this stuff. And I'm just like, they're just down here tweaking out,
Yep.
writing these poems. And some of them I'm like, oh, that was actually like super romantic in a really dark, creepy way. I mean,
Did you write them down, publish a book, Crackhead Poetry?
absolutely not. I was so upset actually because I brought my sister to go see them and I went in and of course, we cleaned everything out because it had to be stripped because
Right.
of how bad it smelled. But I brought my sister to go see it, and Travis had just demoed the whole thing. I was like, you didn't even let me take pictures of it. What is wrong with you? He just doesn't appreciate that kind of stuff like I do. He doesn't. But no, I think that's really it. Luckily, you guys, this year has not been. It's been a scary year in real estate for a lot different reasons than
Right.
spooky hallways and flickering light bulbs. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
exactly.
So,
Exactly.
but hopefully
So,
this is a light little happy Halloween for
yes. And
you
happy
today.
2-year anniversary to us.
Happy 2 year anniversary to us. Oh
Right.
my
And
gosh.
welcome to season 3 of
Oh my
Contracts
God.
and Chaos.
Welcome to season 3. All right. We'll see you guys next week.
We just finished another episode of Contracts and Chaos, but believe me, the chaos does not stop here. So check out the show notes for our email address and where to follow us on socials, and we will see you next week.